Good evening. Allow me to greet our distinguished guests, of course, headed by our former President, President Joseph Estrada. Ang tawag ko sa kanya, siyang aking among tunay. Mula nung siya'y naging Pangulo, ang tawag ko kay Pangulong Erap ay ang aking among tunay. Hanggang ngayon, kahit tayo napalara na, boss, among tunay. Good to see you po. His Excellency, the Ambassador from the People's Republic of China, our good friend who has fostered so many relationships in the time that he has come as the representative of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency, Ambassador Wang Ziliang. All of those of you who have worked hard in the association of the Chinese-Philippine understanding that we have tried to work on since the diplomatic ties were normalized in 1975. I have been lucky enough to have been able to attend many of the commemorations of the Chinese-Philippine Day as we are doing now. And it is because, well, certainly because, in fact, it is, in my view, a very important relationship that we must continue to evolve as the years go by and as the changes that we have seen around the world are affecting our own status within the region. And with that cooperation and with that communication, I think that we have been able to find a way to grow and to make stronger the relationships between our two countries, the People's Republic of China and the Republic of the Philippines. In many ways, the signing of the diplomatic agreement between the People's Republic and the Republic of the Philippines in 1975 was just a formalization or normalization of an informal relationship that has been shown to go back at least to the Tang Dynasty. And that is how long the relationship between the Philippines and China has been going on, and this is at very many levels. And with the addition now of the addition in 1975 of the signing and normalization of diplomatic relations between our two countries, we formalized that informal relationship and added another facet to our dealings, in that we added government to government. And that has been something that I believe has been very advantageous to both our countries. And so how do I see the future between China and the Philippines? I see the future of China and the Philippines developing in many ways that maybe we do not see now. I will encourage our relationship to not only be in the very strict and formal senses of business or government to government or public and private partnerships. All of those we will encourage. But I learned a term and one of the conferences I was invited to in China, and it is a good term because it is, I believe, presents for us another opportunity to grow closer. And that term that I learned from the Chinese is people to people. And I think that it is another place, another area, another direction that we can explore to strengthen our foundations, to strengthen the foundation of our partnership, our friendship, and so that we move forward together into the future. The difficulties, the differences we may have will be helped in every way as long as we continue trying and continue to communicate and continue to be forthright in the interests of each of our countries. I am of the firm belief that as we try to make our way in the post-pandemic world, then that each country will not be able to thrive, to survive and to thrive by itself. We have developed such a close global community, both in politics, both in diplomacy, also in business, and so that it is not possible any longer for a single country to make its own way and say that they will succeed. I truly believe that it is the partnerships and alliances that we as a country will make with our friends and allies and partners around the world that will keep the stability of our economic recovery. And I think that, again, the synergy that will come from that cooperation is what I believe will bring us forward to a bright future. And to come to the day when we can say we are beyond the pandemic crisis. We are beyond the economic crisis brought on by the pandemic. We can only do it, certainly in the Philippines, we can only do it with our partners. And our strongest partner has always been, in that regard, our close neighbor and our good friend, the People's Republic of China. So I congratulate all of us. We in the Philippines are celebrating our 124th Independence Day. And together with that, we celebrate the 47th commemoration of the signing of diplomatic relations between the People's Republic of China. And it was both a form of independence, both our independence and both our signing with the People's Republic of China. It was our independence as well. Perhaps we will continue what President Duterte has started, what has been described as an independent foreign policy. And this is what we feel is best in the national interest. And I think it is to be advantageous not only to our friends in China, but to all our friends around the world. So with that in mind, I encourage you all to continue to work to these, to strengthen these relationships. I add my congratulations to the awardees. I thank you all for putting in the Hall of Fame my mother, and I think I may be biased. I think it is just right because China cannot find a greater champion than my mother in the Philippines. So thank you very much, and we look forward to continuing fostering this relationship, making it stronger, making it deeper, and to the advantage of our two great countries. Thank you very much, and good evening.
Thank you, Philippine President-elect Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.